the discipline, originality, feasibility, administrative support, peer support, availability of subjects, researchers' competency, ethical considerations, solvable or should be solvable and researchable. It should be current, interesting, it should be clear and unambiguous, it should be empirical and verifiable, relevant and systematic. So what I will do, I will take all of these points one by one and then we will discuss it. The first is the significance, the topic that you are taking. It should be significant to the discipline. What does that mean is that a problem which the researcher is selecting should have significance to the profession or discipline. It should not be like we are an environmentalist or we are working on environmental pollution and we are taking some management subject as our topic. So we won't be able to justify it actually. So that should not be there. So a research problem is significant for a discipline when it is directed to develop or refine the body of professional knowledge. So whatever knowledge we have, we should show it when we set a research topic. The following are some of the criteria to assess the significance of a profession. The first one that should be significant is the consumers or stakeholders benefit from the research findings. Whatever findings we are doing from the research, it should benefit them. Otherwise there is no use of research, that's another PhD. So we should always emphasize that it should help in future, or whatever research we are doing, it should help the people. The second one is the result. It will improve the current practices also. Because whatever new studies you are doing, it will help the people to include that and then it will also promote theory development or testing. It provides solution to current practice needs and it generates information to get practical implications for the profession. So this should be in the significance to the discipline, that it should be very, very significant to the discipline. The second point is that it should be original. Originality is very, very important. So whenever we say originality, that means every research should be new and unique in itself. It should not be copied from somewhere. That is what I have seen, that generally what we practice, because we don't want to do more of the work or something like that. So what we do, we find something from Google search or something, and then we just modify some of the points and then we make it our PhD study. So that should not be there. It should be original. There should be novelty. Then only it is beneficial. It is the responsibility of the researcher that innovative knowledge is used for selecting a research problem so as to extend the growth of existing body of knowledge in a profession. So it's very, very important. The third point is feasibility. It should be feasible. We shouldn't take that topic or that subject which is not feasible. Just since we like it, we have taken that topic or subject. So that since it is not feasible, it will affect you later on in later stages when you will be doing your research. Then on later stages you will find that yes, what we did, we have wasted our time. So it should be feasible. We should always look for that. Our research should be feasible of time. It should be availability of subjects, facilities, equipment, money and ethical consideration. So all of these should be included when we consider it. Next, we should have administrative support. Many researchers, they require administrative support. Actually, most of the one place or at the other place. We always need a administrative support. For example, from your university itself, right? You need a support. If you won't be getting it, you won't be able to do it, right? So that is very important. But other than that, we also need sometimes financial and psychological support. Financial in the terms of cost, right? So some of the studies we need more money. So that is also required. So this we should think before we start our research. As well as we also need whoever is along with you is doing research, that support is also required. That support is required by you as well as that support is required by them also, right? So therefore always we should have the habit of supporting others and taking support from others. Otherwise you won't be able to do any type of research all alone, right? We have a habit here that we don't want to disclose anything or we don't want to show anything, but it won't help you. We need to help others and we should get help from others. So many research ideas have failed because the researcher did not receive any peer support. A climate of shared interest among the professional members promote research activities smoothly. So that is very, very important. Availability of subjects. The subjects, it may not meet the study criteria or may be unwilling to participate in the study or may be already participating in another study. This we should always take. If we take that subject and it is not available, then that will be not feasible, right? So that also we should consider, and therefore the availability of the subjects should be well ensured in advance. Ethical soundness, as sir has also said that the ethics should be there and the research problem selected should be cleared by the ethical committee without any hurdles. Ethics, they are very, very important in research. A very important topic of research cannot be considered feasible until and unless it is in accordance with the ethical guidelines. So it is very, very important. Ethics are important. It should not be like in ethics it comes like we are copying from someone's work. That is not under ethical research. That is unethical. So we should not copy the things from others' research. Right? So that is we should keep that in mind. Now next is solvable and researchable. Whatever topic we are taking, we have to check it whether it will be solvable or researchable. Just by looking at it, and we are thinking, yes, the topic is looking very nice. We are not thinking about it. So what will be its after effects? So it should be solvable and researchable. The problem solvable is considered to be good. Minimize the chances of unsolvability, and the problem may cause ambiguity, and hence a researcher should ensure the solvability of the problem that is elected. So that is also very important. And with that, it should be current. It should not be an old thing, whatever, which is not in use, and we are taking that as a subject and we are working in current things. So it should be current that can help the people around. So it is based on the current problems and needs of the profession. The result generated will be of more use. So that we should always consider. Now someone has done a study in 1980s or 1970s, and then we are considering it, which is not going to help us in our present scenario. So that's of no use, right? More number of professionals will be interested in the research conducted on the current issues of their profession. So that is going to, because whatever research you are going to do today, that will help the people who will be doing it in future. So that therefore we need to have that topic current under current this thing, circumstances, problems. It should be interesting. Problem must be as per the motivation of the researcher. It should give interest to the student, whatever the researcher. It shouldn't be like, yes, someone has told that researcher, yes, you can do this, and that person is not very much interested. Just to, for the sake, the other person is saying the person is doing it. So that won't help the problem. Because then in later stage, he or she won't be able to do a good, she won't be able to give the output of it. So therefore you should take that topic that is interesting to you. The research will be conducted with full enthusiasm and not merely for its accomplishment. So the steps that is involved in finding interesting topics are brainstorm for ideas. So that's what we can do. Before starting our research, we should brainstorm for ideas. That we should choose a topic that will enable you to read and understand the literature. Ensure that the topic is manageable and that material is available. Right? If we take a topic where we are not getting any material from anywhere, so it will be very, very new, and you will find problems later on. Right? Literature survey, all of these, they need some of the literature from before. So therefore you should ensure that topic is manageable and that material is available. That means literature. Make a list of keywords. Be flexible. You shouldn't be more like, no, I have to just take this topic. You should be flexible for that. Right? Define your topic as a focused research question. Research and read more about your topic. Keep on doing, and it's very easy nowadays, right? Just you can put keyword in Google, and then you can see many papers around, right? Through ResearchGate also, if you are a member of that community, then you can also find many research papers around there. So you can look for that. Formulate a thesis statement. Choose a topic that interests you. Use the following questions to help generate topic ideas. Do you have a strong opinion on a current social or political controversy? Then did you read or see a news story recently that has piqued your interest or made you angry or anxious? Do you have a personal issue, problem or interest that you would like to know more about? Do you have a research paper due for a class this semester? Is there an aspect of a class that you are interested in learning more about? So, look at some of the topically oriented websites and research sites for ideas. Like for health or medicine, you can look in healthfinder.gov, Health and Wellness Resource Center, or the National Library of Medicine. For humanities, you can look for you can browse links from the National Endowment for the Humanities. So write down any keyword or concept that may be of interest, and then it can help you to get your topic of interest. Read general background information. So whatever information you want to know about that topic, you will get from there. Read the general encyclopedia article on the top 2 or 3 topics you are considering. Then reading a broad summary enables you to get an overview of the topic and see how your ideas relates to broader, narrower and related issues. It also provides a great source for finding words commonly used to describe the topic. So these keywords may be very useful for your research, and it will help you in your later research. If you can't find any article on your topic, try using broader terms. Okay? So then maybe you will browse the Encyclopedia Americana for information on your topic ideas. This is only a general one, but you can look in many places. And as I said, the web search engines like Google and Bing, they are currently considered to be 2 of the best research engines. So, and ChatGPT, see, you can get an idea from there. No, you don't have to copy from there, but you will get an idea, and from there you can move onwards. Focus on your topic. Keep it manageable. Don't make it so much broad. Otherwise, it will be a difficult. There will be a difficult. A topic will be very difficult to research if it is too broad or too narrow. So you should keep it in consideration. Some common ways to limit a topic are what are the most prominent environmental issues of the last 10 years. Like these type of questions you may think related to your subject, right? And then you can take the result out from it. A topic may be too difficult to research. If it is too locally confined, you won't get that much of information for that. If a topic is quite recent, books or journal articles may not be available, as I said. Like research topics, it is hard to get the research papers also. But newspaper or magazine articles may give you some ideas related to that. Websites related to the topic may or may not be available. So these might be some of the problems that is associated with it. So the process of topic selection, I would say that first what we have to think that what are the requirements of our research, what are the 3 things that we are passionate about, this we have to think. Then think carefully about these interests and then you can get the tentative topic. And from the other side, what is your potential topic? What about this topic that interests you? If you can't answer this question, go back to the brainstorming topic and then you will get the tentative topic. So this is how you can find out your topic. So, and make a list of useful keywords, as I have said, that keep track of the words that are used to describe your topic. Look for words that best describe your topic. Look for them when reading encyclopedia articles. Find broader and narrower terms, synonyms, key concepts for keywords. Make note of these words and use them later when searching databases and catalogs. Be flexible. Too much, if we are narrowing our study, so it will be hard for us. So therefore, we should have some flexibility. When researching, you may not wish to change your topic, but you may decide that some other aspect of the topic is more interesting or more manageable, but it should be in starting. It should not be after 2 years. Right? So therefore, this should be done prior. Right? Otherwise, you are wasting you have lost your 2 years. This you should always consider. This is all for those who are in this process. Be aware of the depth of coverage needed and the due date. These important factors may help you decide how much and when you will modify your topic. Research and read more about your topic. So constantly you have to go through your topic, right? So that new recent studies are very, very important when we do this. Whatever is very recent, that is going to help, because sometimes what happens, you are also doing the same research, someone else is also doing the same research, right? So there will be a clash. So your novelty has been lost. So that we have to always consider. So use the keywords, find more information to help you answer your research question.
మేము